Hello YouTube, welcome to today's video. I just finished a solo queue game where I had a few opportunities where I got to zone the enemy, and this video is basically going to be showcasing why zoning is so important and how it can give you huge leads in any type of game. So to give a little bit of context of what's happening, a 2v2 is happening right now, both mid laners, both supports, and I'm doing the Drake. And we see that Cillian is moving like this. And Kassadin is low HP, so he's very much just gonna recall here in a second. So, as you guys remember, we saw that Cillian went here, and then we know that he pathed like this. So, he could be going one of these two ways, because he wants to go back to bot lane. He can't go here because there's a ward here, and any other way would be not possible, right? So those would be the two paths that he could take, or he could simply reset and then walk from base towards bot side. So what does this mean? So because a 2v2 here was happening with mid and support, then we know that ADC is all alone down here in bot lane, meaning that if potentially right here in this situation Tristana's pushing, that means that soon we will be able to gank, or vice versa. If Jinx actually pushes, then that means that we can simply dive by taking Blast Cone or walk like this, or we can simply try and catch that Cillian who wants to get back to bot lane because he's support, right? He wants to go back to bot lane at some point. So he shows up in mid lane again, gives me time to take the red buff, and already here Fresh is doing a zoning tool, right? So Cillian's shortest path towards bot lane would simply be like this, right? But because Fresh is standing here, that means that Cillian will not be able to go this way. Then his second option would be to go like this. Also not possible because he will still get caught in this area. That means that Cillian will have to go like this or go like this. So even if you don't get a kill, you're zoning off the enemy support from being able to play, or any type of player who's roaming. And as you will see here, because I know Cillian at some point has to get back to lane, I simply take this Blast Cone, and my Fresh is pinging that he wants to go on the Tristana, which I don't want to do because Tristana has a jump. If Tristana was playing a Jhin or something like that, and we see Jhin stepping up right here, then obviously it's a free kill and we can always kill that champion. But here I'm more focused on the Cillian. So he can go many different ways to bot lane, but he can't really avoid us. He has to basically walk through us because Fresh is standing here, and I'm standing right here, right? So at some point we will be able to do damage to him. So that is what ends up happening. I'm just sitting here waiting for him. And here he is. He's only level 5. And that's a really easy kill. On top of that, Tristana jumps into me for some reason. And then I get another kill. So simply by doing this, we end up getting 2 kills. Get to push in the wave. We already got the dragon. I get to counter jungle some bot side camps. And then what ends up happening is that Kayn is simply gonna trade for the Rift Herald, but we're completely fine with that because we got some kills. Then, once again, I know that the enemy bot lane has to go here, and because I'm assuming in this situation that Kayn is in top side, actually I think he just took the Rift Herald because it's gone from, yeah, or did he just take it? Yeah, he just took Rift Herald. So because he just took the Rift Herald while I'm taking the Skull Crab, that means that I can simply see that, okay, there's one guy on top, one guy in mid, and Kayn is top. That means that it's a 3v2 situation on bot lane. So I want to force this because we have numbers advantage. And Cillian doesn't have ulti. And Tristana doesn't have summoner spells. So once again, I know that the enemy bot lane will probably just path to the lane like this. So I step up here and do some damage. The reason why I can do this is because I have ult. So I'm not really too afraid because I can just cancel a lot of auto attacks. So now Cillian is half HP. Then we end up killing the Cillian. The TP is being forced from Kassadin. So now I know that Kassadin is in bot lane. And he at some point wants to go back to mid lane. So what are his different paths that he can take? Well, he can go this way. He can go like this, like this, like this, like this. He has many different options, right? So because we have wards here, there's no point in standing here. We also have ward here, so no point in standing here. So that means that the only ones we really need to take a look at, actually we also have a word right here. So the only really ways that we want to cover is in case he goes like this or some sort of way. like this, right? So we basically just try and trap him right here with the fresh, which we'll see right now. The reason why we don't move into this bush is because we can get seen if Kassadin simply paths right here, and then we won't be able to do anything. So we simply sit here and wait. And if Kassadin goes like this, then we just kill him, right? If he goes like this, then we will simply go like this, and then we'll meet him right here. If he then goes like this, then there's nothing we can do, but this path is so much longer for him to do than all the other ones, basically. It's the longest route that he could possibly take. So he, unfortunately, doesn't move right into us, but then we see him right here. Fresh hooks. We don't quite kill him, because I end up fucking up my E. I would have E'd over and then flashed, but it is what it is. But we got the Kassadin flash, and he, once again, just burned his TP on bot lane, didn't get anything. Now he just burned his flash, didn't get anything. He's gonna lose one wave, so the wave that's already underneath the tower right here. On top of that, he's gonna lose an additional wave, and Orianna is going to get a plating. So this is basically the power of being able to zone. So whenever there's a laner who's off position, you can simply zone them off by trying to figure out which path are they going to take to get back into that lane at some point. Especially if you're stronger than them or you have numbers advantage. So simply trying to figure out which ways will the enemy try and path. Most of the time people will simply sit in here and then trap if Kassadin goes in. But obviously Kassadin is going to play safe. He's not going to walk these different types of ways because he basically has to assume that people are there. So think ahead of time. Think what other routes can Kassadin possibly take and figure out which ones are not covered by vision. If some path is covered by vision, you don't have to go there, because if Kassadin shows up here, then we can always collapse on him with the vision that we have, right? Same thing goes for this ward right here. So think about the paths that isn't warded that the enemy possibly could take in order to get back into lane, and then try and cut them off. Now, this doesn't mean you would cut them off at any point and for anything. Because, of course, if the enemy is stronger, or they potentially are looking to collapse on you, or if they have vision on you, then you're actually probably the one being zoned off or being cut rather than the enemy. So make sure that you are not on vision. So preferably have a sweeper, umbral glaive, control ward, whatever. Then also make sure that you have a pretty good idea of where are the enemy champions, to make sure that suddenly a 1v1 or a 2v1 doesn't turn up into a 2v1 in the enemy favor, 2v2, 3v2, whatever. Make sure that it's actually in favor for you rather than possibly your opponent, right? And then simply just zone them off for as long as possible. Even if you don't get the kill, something will happen on the map. That laner that you are zoning off, your laner are basically going to get something in terms of experience, gold, platings, minions, whatever it might be. And it's simply going to zone off the enemy from being able to play the game, and it will tilt them insanely hard. I also very recently did this in a scrim game. Unfortunately, I can't show that game just yet, but there will be a video in the future that will basically showcase that play as well. But yeah, that's basically the video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like. If you have any questions regarding zoning, then leave it in the comment section down below and I'll get back to you. And then otherwise subscribe so you don't miss out on future YouTube videos. And then I just want to say thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys on my next live stream on Twitch or in my next YouTube video. And yeah, thank you for watching and have a nice day.